Who are we talking to? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. You gotta hurry, sir. Come on.
What is it, detective?
They found a blue badger costume down in front of the main gate, sir.
What? Isn't that what one of those kidnappers were wearing?
Bingo! That's why you gotta come to the main gate with me right now! If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before Wolf Boy does, sir.
Alright, let's make haste to the main gate.
To be continued! What's gonna happen at the main gate? Hey everybody, it's Woobits, and we're rushing to the main gate! Here at Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. Oh!
Was that out here in the open all along?
No, it was just covered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out there in order to examine it more thoroughly.
Let's get down to it. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny, and the most suspicious is this necklace. What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that?
I'm the greatest thief there is!
Hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible these two...
Hold it right there. Hey. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence.
How can you tell?
Look here and read off what you see.
Lauren. Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this. We've met a Lauren. Why does our Lauren have a thing? Miss Paups pendant data. Although it's Lauren D, not Lauren P.
Aha, we have you now, Miss Kidnapper.
No, you understand.
Lolly, I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers.
You kidding? Miss Paups, one of the kidnappers? This lady?
Yes. It was me. I held Lance hostage.
So Miss Paups is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved. Or over.
Hey guys, case closed. It's over. I'm calling it. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. The nasty one. The one that ladies don't like to ride in. The bad car.
Hold it!
Again, Mr. Prosecutor. What is it this time?
Are you proposing that Miss Paups is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect.
We found it.
Found what?
That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Who you calling a sham? The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon.
So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges. I see.
And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Miss Paups, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him.
I can't believe it!
Ha 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 ha! Thanks for the confession!
Objection!
Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed.
Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for?
Miss Lauren Paups,
Yes.
I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder.
But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough?
Oh, she's about to cut her hair! Don't do it! Don't hold your hair hostage! It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't?
I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today.
Alright, give me your confession.
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Romano would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
Oh,
There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much.
Miss Paups, is what you said really the truth?
Yes, it is.
If that is the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there's something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. Okay.
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon.
How well did you know the victim?
I've spoken with him only a few times at Lance's house.
A few times? That's it?
Yes.
If they only met a few times, I don't see how they could have trusted each other. But if you hardly ever talk, then how can he trust you not to steal his plan?
That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning. Which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Isn't that right, Sheena?
Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself.
Ah, I bet he didn't see that one coming.
We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage.
Hold it!
You knew? How did you know something like that?
Oh no, what should I do?
Okay, what's wrong with her now? Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way?
No, stop it, Lauren. You always like this. You always fall for this stern-looking one. That's why you'll always be unhappy.
Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glance. She loves you now, and that's weird. Mind your own business, Kate. Now then, Miss Paups, let's continue with your testimony.
Yes, of course. Mr. Romano would pay anything to get his son back, after all.
Hold it!
Why did you believe that?
Anyone who knows Mr. Romano would think the same.
I bet Lance is that old man's greatest treasure. I suppose he would be to a doting father like Mr. Romano.
I always figured that was it, too. And I was always envious of Lance for it.
Ooh, because your dad's, a jerk?
I got this pendant from my father. And I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday.
You might have just killed your daddy.
He'll welcome me into his arms, riding on the back of the Pegasus.
That pendant. She must truly believe it to be the wings of Pegasus. And it's like someone else had a horse, and if you combined the two, it would be horse and wings, and there would be a Pegasus. Well, how tragic.
Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money...
Hold it!
Would you mind telling us a little about the plan itself?
Well, first we captured Lance.
Ooh, how'd you do that?
Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't quite know.
But I thought you knew how to steal people away. I shudder to think what she would do with such knowledge. Start stealing people.
Sorry, I don't really know, but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to contain him. All we had to do after that was wait for the ransom to be paid, but...
Why do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he planned on doing so from the very beginning.
Miss Paups?
Huh?
Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Paups from the very beginning. Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes! I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you.
But why? We're total strangers!
No.
It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money.
Miss Paups, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have able to bring himself to kill Miss Paups. Do we have this? It says Lauren D, which tells me that her name is not Paups, Miss Lollipops. It's actually Lauren Deveray. I think he is her daddy. But do I present her wings or his pendant? I'm gonna try hers first. I might take a hit for this. Nope.
Why are you showing this to me?
So what about the pendant?
This pair of wings, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are. The daughter that they thought he was gonna return to. These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree?
You're right, they're the same color and they're even made of the same material.
I believe that these two pendants are actually one. Shall we give it a try?
Wow, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
No, it can't be.
So the two make a set. It's just another trinket.
It's
not as though this changes anything.
Do you like imagination, Agent Lang? Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant. It is the Colin Deveray dossier, which talks about the wife and daughter and sole daughter who he was supposed to return to. Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Deveray, the name that is etched on the horse pendant.
What? An alias?
I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Deveray's dossier. What I really wanted to point out was this. This specific section is what reveals the true meaning behind those pendants. Stole a gun from a guard to escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are. Mr. Deveray had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Paups. Or Lauren Deveray, I mean.
That's a lie! That person was not my father!
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in the kidnapping plot? And what is so funny, Agent Lang?
You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you?
What are you trying to say?
Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility.
Is that so? Well, let's hear it.
Another possibility. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that their united pair became involved in the House of Amano. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
So this is his version of how things might have been.
You don't have any proof that either one didn't know of their true relationship, right?
You
mean they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter?
That's right, as one really rotten family.
Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence. Okay.
I'll grant you the two of them are the father and daughter.
Oh, thank you. Precisely. And what father would ever willingly kill his own daughter?
I've seen a lot of things in my travels, and I can tell you that being related by blood is sometimes proof of nothing. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact?
Hold it!
You think they knew?
Yeah, I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't.
Because he was on the lam?
You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore, it was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano.
Hold it!
One is a butler and one is the friend of the son, you mean?
They probably thought that was their best shot.
Is that what you honestly believe?
Of course. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping.
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives?
Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair.
One second. Lang has gone into gruff territory a little too far again. Woo! The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were, in fact, family.
Yes, from the very beginning, they painstakingly practiced those roles well. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
Hold it!
I believe you're being a bit too overconfident for someone with no evidence.
Am I? Because I don't see you presenting any evidence to the contrary.
Without evidence to counter him, we're stuck at a draw. Agent Lang isn't wrong. The scenario is certainly a probable one. You better hurry up and do something. Alan's gonna wind up looking really bad. I know, but first things first. Is Agent Lang's line of logic factually correct? Did the two of them really knowingly commit the crime as father and daughter? What do we have in our organizer that would show that they maybe don't know? Love letter. The sender is the Tinderlander Loan Company. My dear Lansamano, may I come see you again? Your beloved Viola. Lansamano. Don't think that's it. They both knew that fact. I'm gonna present her pendant.
Objection!
No, this is wrong. Agent Lang, about this piece of evidence. Huh.
Lang Z says, confidence is like a soul, and words without confidence are but empty shells. You shouldn't waste your breath on words you have no confidence in, Mr. Prosecutor. Although, it's just as bad to say something in full confidence and be wrong.
You gonna let him lecture you about your self-confidence like that? I don't need to be overflowing with self-confidence. I just didn't think rationally. After all, I only need to be confident in the facts. Is it maybe his dossier, actually? They were under surveillance. So if he had said it to them, they would have been caught.
Objection!
No?
Nothing has nothing to do with what I was saying. Now put it away! And your logic is so badly in need of repair that you might as well throw it out, too. This is the real deal here. Your courtroom mannerisms are worthless at a crime scene.
Good. You dare to insult the courts? Okay. Man, I'm at a loss as to how to actually get past him here. Kidnapper stole 3 costumes. That's the closest I have to having information about there being 3 costumes. Oh, man. Might it just be the number of costumes? Because he keeps talking about there being 2 of them.
Objection!
Is that it? It was the number of kidnappers that makes it weird. Okay. This kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone.
What kind of proof do you have of that?
Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. Okay, alright, okay.
3!
4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. Whew. We also found us in 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group. And I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping.
Who is this mastermind?
I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. I think the original thing that I guessed when I very first heard that there was a group of people who were all working together was that Lance was pretending to be kidnapped because he was stuck in a room that he could have very easily gotten out of, but was pretending to be locked in with the sword.
Lance Armano!
Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us.
Did you see the faces of your kidnappers?
No, I didn't see their faces, but 2. One was a woman.
However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said.
But I know I only saw 2 people.
This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them.
Ah, yes, about when you were being held. I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive?
I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you?
Okay, Lance. Mr. Demure. I don't know what to think about this guy.
I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could.
Through the underground passageway, I presume.
Are you okay?
Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right?
No, not quite yet.
How can you not? Why do you look at me with the icy daggers in your eyes?
Because he's a prosecutor, and because they're all like that.
I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little.
I was kidnapped yesterday morning.
Hold it!
Can you tell us about when you were abducted in a little more detail?
It was a strange moment. I felt like I was right in the middle of a great calm.
And where were you when you experienced this calm?
A family garden, of course. Where else could it have been?
Well, excuse me for asking. This child is more princess than prince.
I was out taking a walk to shake off the morning blah. Then, out of the blue, someone from behind clamps a hand over my mouth.
You didn't see your attacker?
They must have used some drug to knock me out. Because before I knew it, I was off in La La Land again. When I woke up, I was in the kidnapper's hideout already, all tied up. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time.
Hold it!
I'll try to wrap it up this stream. We'll see. You think there's an hour left? Well, we're pretty close to the end, I think. By that room, you mean the room in the kidnapper's hideout, correct?
Yeah, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know that until I made my escape.
Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers.
They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of the conversation. It was definitely two people, and one of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared, I could tell they were nearby, so I didn't dare make a move. But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside.
Hold it!
The kidnappers disappeared.
The room fell into a sudden silence. I've been left behind like an unwanted mutt.
And what do you mean by unwanted mutt? What a pointless question! Not like he's gonna tell you anything new, you know.
It's a poetic simile. You should know how to use them too. You may look refined on the outside, but it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well.
Excuse me?
My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck they left me alone.
Hold it!
Then those cuffs on your wrists, I suppose you are still cuffed in that case.
I'm well aware of how I am chained to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid that I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner. I made my escape and ran from that room as fast as I could.
Hold it!
How did you manage to escape?
I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape.
I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I mustn't let it go unexamined.
The door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway.
Hold it!
By underground passageway, you mean the one the staff used to travel unnoticed.
I suppose that's what it's for, but I didn't run into any staff members on my way out. And once I was up top, I was busy trying to find a member of the police.
And that is when you found us congregated at the stadium, I suppose. Let me ask you then, how did you get a hold of the key to the underground door?
That was easy. It was hanging right there in the room, on the wall.
I do recall a key hanging on the wall right beside the table. Boy, does that bring back memories of our situation and how we made our escape. Indeed, and although the door on the floor of our room led to an underground room, the door on the floor of the room next door had a secret passageway. A secret passageway under a theme park? Oh, that just sounds like so much fun! I wonder, is there something off about the way Lance made his escape? I think the new piece of testimony that we got was locked tight, but we spent a lot of time pressing our logic button to know that the sword was jammed in the handle, which is very hard to deal with from the outside, but from inside makes for a very easy escape.
Objection!
You say that the door leading out was locked, but was it really?
We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena?
Yes, that's correct.
Then take a look at this.
What is that? A sword? It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that.
Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not simply remove the sword and escape?
Why didn't I? I was disoriented.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it.
As if I should accept such a bald-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own.
Not so fast!
You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way.
And what would that be?
A motive. What else?
I thought motives didn't matter on crime scenes. Lang. Shilong Long. Shilong Lang. Whatever your name is.
Do you honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself?
Objection!
This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit his crime. I think I know what this is. He had a love letter, which was sent from who? The Tinderlinder Loan Company? I think he needed some money, and his dad probably wouldn't give it to him. Unless...
Take that!
To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. It isn't that right, Lance? Looks like it's hot being the son of a rich man, too. More money, more problems. It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your old man, huh?
All right. I give up. I abducted myself.
Lance!
It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates. After all I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that $1 million, but now that dream is over.
Oh, Lance!
Then you're giving yourself up?
Yes, I plan to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back.
He turned on you.
Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money. That's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop out.